Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Jess, your host for Mondays on the Beaver Bunch. So I just woke up recently, so that's why, again, I have this really hot mess look on my face. My voice is also still apparently recovering from the No on 8 campaign candlelight vigil that we had on Saturday night. And if you haven't heard about it, try to find something on it because it was fantastic and definitely a sight to see. There were way too many people that, I mean, not, you know what I mean? Like, there was just so many people that I didn't expect to be out, and it was just a beautiful evening. Um, okay, so this week we are talking about some issues that are a bit sensitive, I think. We're talking about discrimination, religion, all of that good stuff. The first question that I'm going to answer is about discrimination. I think that, of course, I've experienced discrimination. I mean, you know, look at me. I look like a little boy, and I have since I was 19, you know. I shaved my head, and I shaved my head for a reason. I didn't want to be looked at by men on the street, and I don't mean this, I don't want this to be taken out of context, but I didn't want to be looked at as a heterosexual female anymore. And so when I turned 19, I shaved my head, and I knew that that was a step in a political direction, because hair is political, and if you don't know, you should find some reading on that. Um, yeah, so I have faced discrimination, but I think at this point in my life, I have faced so much of it on a daily basis that I don't even see it anymore. I just kind of look the other way, and I don't confront it any longer. Have I ever felt like I was in danger? Yes, no, I don't know. I mean, I have a big mouth, and I confront issues when it comes to ignorance. So I'm sure that at some point in my life I have been in danger, but I didn't really recognize it as such. Um, what's a moment that we can remember where people were rude because of my orientation? Rude because of my orientation. God, that's happened so many times. Okay, here's one. This is a good one, and I think I may have talked about this in a previous video, but it's worthy of discussing twice. I was at a restaurant chain, probably about a year ago, and I walked in with my partner at the time, and we got, I mean, blatantly discriminated against, and it had been a long time since I had been discriminated against in this manner. I went and I sat down in a booth, and this guy, I really don't want to stereotype, but this guy was staring at my partner, and as she got up to go use the restroom, he made a comment to one of his friends about her looking gay or something, and he was like checking out her ass, and so I have like just disdain for people who judge in that type of manner, you know? And so instead of, like, I didn't say anything because he was the type of guy that probably had a gun in his car, you know, like in his pickup or something. So I didn't want to say anything and start something. But what I did is I stood up and I walked over to where, like, there was the divide between his booth and mine, and I just stood there and I stared at him, like, literally 2 feet away. Just stood there and I stared at him. Like, I had my arms crossed and I was just kind of like staring at him. And he stopped talking to his friend, like, just sat there and ate his food or whatever. It was just a really gross incident, you know? And my partner came back, and I looked at her and I was like, we're not sitting in this booth. We're gonna go, you know, sit somewhere else, because I don't want to be sitting next to someone who is so blatantly rude. I have a big mouth, you know, and I won't take shit. I won't take shit from anybody who's just like that, you know? And so we did, and I don't know, his wife had come walking in with like 15 kids, and she comes walking up to him, and he like smacks her on the ass, you know, like just so rude, so rude. The world does not revolve around your ass, and apparently somebody told him wrong, but that was a moment where someone was rude to me. Not even to me, to my partner. And I'm not okay with that. Like, I would rather someone be rude to me than to someone that I love and care about. So yeah. Moving on. How do we avoid those situations? You don't. You don't. They're gonna happen, they're gonna come up. And the only thing that you can do to better yourself for those situations is to reevaluate what happened or what occurred during the situation. Don't ignore it, don't pretend like it didn't happen. And if someone was there with you during the situation, discuss it with them. Break it down and figure out what happened and what you can do to make yourself feel better the next time something like that does happen. How do we deal with the religious side of coming out? I didn't really have a religious side of coming out. Like, I didn't grow up religious. My parents, I believe, were Presbyterian, but not practicing whatsoever in the least. I think I went to church that many times when I was a kid with my grandparents, so that wasn't a big deal. I became spiritual / religious when I was in my late teens, and I started reading up and studying Buddhism, but that sort of led me to many different religions, because I'm not the type to just go for one thing and believe it solely, because I've seen what that can do to people. And so what I do now, and what I started doing when I was in my late teens, was reading a little bit of everything. So, a little bit of Christianity, a little bit of Hinduism, a little bit of Buddhism, a little bit of, Judaism, everything. And, yeah, I don't know, just, I guess my advice about religion and coming out is that you can do both. You can do both. And, I don't know, I think that religion is a beautiful thing, and not even religion itself, maybe spirituality, and having a faith in a higher power or in something beyond life, because my own personal belief is that we are not our bodies. Everything is nothing, nothing is everything, and you should sit on that for a while and let me know what you think. Yeah, if you have any questions, please feel free to send me a personal message about religion. Otherwise, I want to keep it short, because I'm not really I don't want to make it that big of a deal, because again, it's a sensitive subject. So with that, I'm going to end this video, and I hope that you guys have a fantastic week, and I'll see you guys next Monday.